Hello all, I do hope you're well, and this is project 2 for year 7, and in these videos we're going to concentrate on skills building. Now you will have heard us mention in the department about the formal elements, and the formal elements are really so important to doing good artwork. You can see on this slide the formal elements are already mentioned for you, so line, shape, colour, texture, pattern, form and tone. And they are how we write about artwork, but also how we have to pay attention to these criteria to make sure that our pieces of artwork that we do, whether it's a piece of clay work or whether it's a piece of textile work or a straight illustration, if we don't pay attention to all of these formal elements, then the work doesn't come out the quality level that we want it to. If you can see where the light bulb is, just at the side of the red writing here, this is a little bit of a thing I want you to remember about mixing colours. So if, for example, you're trying to mix an orange and you know that a red and a yellow make an orange, then if you were to put equal amounts of the red and the yellow in together, the red would be so dominant that you would never really achieve the right kind of orange. So when we mix colours, we always mix colours starting with the lightest of the two that make up the colour first, and then put a tiny bit of the darker colour in. That actually means that you can then have a light orange, a darker orange, and keep going darker and darker the more red you apply to it. So if you can bear that in mind. Now with the exercises that are in this video, you're going to need A4 paper. You can also use felt tips if you wanted to, if you've got felt tips. I suppose the most ideal materials to use would be watercolour paints, pencil crayons or oil pastels or something along those kind of lines, and that will help you. Okay, so let's move on. So we've got here in front of us a sample sheet on the left hand side here, and this shows loads and loads of different ways that you can colour objects to make them go from just a circle, just an outline circle, and by applying colour to them in the way that you press on with the colour, you can create a 3D effect. And then if you have a look on the right hand side of this slide here, you can see we've got a standard colour wheel, okay, that we want you to produce. So basically this is a practical task. The first thing that we'd like you to do is to create this circle that you see here, and the first thing that you would do would be to colour in red this primary section here, this piece of cake, and then colour in yellow this one and colour in blue, because they make up the 3 primary colours. And then as you can see these stars coming to the PowerPoint, they are the colour that represents the 2 colours when they're mixed together. So for example, as I mentioned previously, the red and the yellow mixed together makes an orange, and you need to paint or colour that section of the cake there. That needs to be orange. Okay, and remember you'd put the yellow in first of all and a tiny bit of the red, and then that would make the orange colour. If you're doing it with pencil crayons, then what you would do with the pencil crayons is shade first of all with the lightest colour, so shade with the yellow and then put the red pencil crayon over the top, and you'll be amazed that they still do mix. And the same happens if you're using oil pastels. On this side, as you can see, it's a purple star, so that's the red and the blue together there. Now with these 2 colours, they are both bossy colours, if you like. The red and the blue are completely bossy. When I mix these 2 colours together to get a purple, I always start with the red first of all and put a tiny bit of the blue in, because I think the blue is a little bit more bossy than the red. And that should then give you the purple. Down at the bottom we've got the blue and the yellow. Again, hopefully you're all shouting out now, you know what colour to put down. Yes, it's the yellow that goes down first, and then the blue goes into it, and that should give you a green. So you're going to need this, and basically when you send your work in for marking, what I'd love to see is this colour wheel. If you can send a photocopy or a photograph of the colour wheel, that'd be brilliant, and that'll be marked out of 10 points just for that colour wheel. I'm looking to see what your colour mixing's like and if you've stayed within the lines. Okay, so we'll move on now. So we're going to get a little bit more technical now. So we've got the same help board on the right hand side of the screen here, and then we've got the next task that's on here. It says, now look at the help board opposite. We are going to put colour into practice now. Draw out 3 circles like the ones below. Now if you haven't got a compass, these don't have to be massive circles. You could use the top of a bottle top, or a milk bottle is sometimes quite good. That would be the correct size that you could use. You don't have to do them very big. And then it says on the point underneath, it says work out where your light source is shining onto them, and then put an arrow there. And so you can see how these 3 circles have got this arrow here. You might decide to put the arrow coming from this way, putting the arrow coming from the other way. Okay? Now have a go at shading them to make them look 3D. They will go from being circles then into spheres or into balls. So you could pick one of your colours. You've just done a colour wheel. You could do one that's going from dark red to light red. You could choose one of your secondary colours, which were the colours that you mixed if you wanted to, and you can colour those. So it's 3 circles here that you're going to colour, different colours, perhaps with different light sources if you can do. So the ball at the bottom of this page here is where the light source is here, so that's why it's light. So if you did light source on this side, then the light part would be this side. It's 5 points per ball that you make. So we're looking again for accuracy. We're looking to see if you can stay within the lines that you've drawn. And again, use any materials. If you haven't got any colours but you still want to do the activity, then see if you've got a biro or a ballpoint pen, or old makeup or something like that. You can make do. We completely understand. It's more the experimentation that I'm looking for. Okay, so we're now on hot and cold images. So we have hot and cold colours, and on the right hand of the screen here, you can see this is what we refer to as the warm colours. Think of the warm sunshine, that type of thing. And then the cooler colours here would be if you were doing a cool kind of a snowy day type of painting or something like that. You would definitely use these kind of colours to create the right atmosphere. So we've got down on the left hand side here an artist called Paul Klee, and Paul Klee worked with hot and cold colours, doing an awful lot of his work. So a little bit of an illustration there. And at the top of the screen it says warm colours remind us of things associated with the concept of heat, such as summer, beaches and the sun and fire. The warm colours are red, orange and yellow. And then you've got the cool colours at the bottom. They remind us with associated things to do with winter, so ice and water. And the cool colours are blue, purple and green. So that's just to set the scene really for the next task. You don't have to do anything with this one, but it's to set the scene for your next task. So here we go. This is a colour practice piece. So if we look up here, it says, what is your design going to be? It doesn't have to be a tree or the sun or the moon. More points will be awarded if you use your imagination and draw out your own image first. So this is an A4 study. And there's 25 points that are available for this study. So these are just 2 examples that have been found on the internet of hot and cold compositions, where people have looked at their colour theory, they've looked at their wheel, and then they've decided to produce these studies. And that's really what your final piece is for. It's an A4 piece where you can choose anything. It might be a face, it can be a picture of your dog, but it does need to be large. That whatever you choose needs to be the size of the A4 piece of paper, and then you need to show us in that design, if you can, half of it cold and half of it warm in its colour theory. Okay, I hope that helps everybody understand what the task is for this project too. Take care and good luck. Okay then, bye bye.